接着，这我。
நல்ல ஸ்ட்ரென்த் இருக்குது. பரவாயில்லையே. ஆடியோ. Good afternoon, my dear participants. We are very happy to welcome the resource persons of today's webinar, which is being conducted on behalf of Institute Innovation Council of our institution. Our dear friend, Mr. Ashok Rajappan, CEO of MRM Nutritions, who is a well-known entrepreneur and well-wisher of this institution. He is going to deliver on the topic about his own story, how he has become a successful entrepreneur. So sharing the experience of how he has become an entrepreneur will certainly help you, motivate you to become an entrepreneur. So I have to thank Professor Rajan, HOD of Mechanical, and President of IIC, Dr. Arun Kumar Madhuvappan, for organizing such type of webinars. Hope you will be enjoying this session. And he is such an excellent presenter who is going to share his own experience about how he has become an entrepreneur. Enjoy the session and please give your feedback at the end of the session. Thank you very much, and I'm handing over the session to Mr. Ashok Rajappan.
Good morning and good afternoon to all the participants. I welcome you to the session on motivational session by successful entrepreneur or startup. Once again, I welcome you all. This is regarding the internship and startup, the motivational session by successful entrepreneur and startup. Our Vedas saying, knowledge makes a person famous and helpful in achieving the goals. Intelligence is the mightiest and nothing is beyond its reach. I wish to express my sincere gratitude for the opportunity given by VMKVE to help the upcoming entrepreneur by motivating them to achieve the target. I introduce myself as Ashok Rajappan, BSc graduate with PG diploma in food processing. Owns an innovative company under style Mrs. MRM Nutri Innovations based at Salem. Our company have credentials for many innovative food products in association with leading institutions.
Participants don't unmute in between. Kindly mute yourself.
Our company have credentials for many innovative food products in association with leading institutions. Defense Food Research Laboratory, DFRL Mysore, Central Food Technology Research Institution, CFTRI Mysore, Tamil Nadu Agri University, TNAU, member A, Agri Business Development Coimbatore. Our following products vouchsafe for the credentials of our company. Nutraceutical drinks, a ready-to drink from beetroot, a low glycemic vegetable-based health drink with all the goodness of the nature have been stabilized with the shelf life of more than 3 months and tested with our jawans at high altitude and deserts, an alternative for artificial drinks like Coke, Sprite, etc., etc. The official reports speak of the intended health benefits. 2. Ready to eat idli, extending the shelf life up to 1 month for baked idlis and 6 months shelf life for dried idlis. Both these products was well accepted for both Javans and social public. The DFRL also has projected the product in their official calendar, reflecting as a prestigious product. Our product figuring in the display is indeed a tribute to the utility and impact of the incubation facilities. From Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Dr. Abdul Kalam Incubation Center, VMKC, Salem. In view of the positive development, the Agri-Business Development Incubatee have poised to expedite the further process on pilot plant scale with improving further the shelf life of the product. Our company have enthusiastic plans to develop future innovative products, especially from agri sector in associations with VMKVE Incubation Center, Salem, with the guidance of the learned expertise and technical leaders. Now, see, this is just a beginning. Let us start the life. We are eligible to live any life, but life without goal is meaningless. Now we can understand purpose is more important than vision. And moving on, let us ask ourselves, next, whom we are really. Knowing who we are, what we want, always do the right thing. Not settle for something in life
One day, a young boy asked his father, "What is the value of his life?" Instead of answering, the father told his son to take this rock and go sell it at a market. If anybody asks the price, raise 2 fingers and don't say anything. The boy then went to the market, and a woman asked, "How much is this rock? I want to put it in my garden." The boy didn't say anything and raised up 2 fingers. And the woman said, $2, I'll take it. And the boy went home and told his father, "A woman wants to buy this rock for $2. The father then said, "Son, I want you to take this rock to a museum. If anybody wants to buy it, don't say a word and just put up 2 fingers. The boy then went to the museum, and a man wanted to buy the rock. The boy didn't say a word and put up 2 fingers. And the man said, $200, I'll take it. The boy was shocked and went running home. "Father, a man wants to buy this rock for $200. His father then said, "Son, the last place I want you to take this rock is to a precious stone store. Show it to the owner and don't say a word. And if he asks the price, just put up 2 fingers. The son then went to a precious stone store. He showed the rock to the owner. "Where did you find this stone? It is one of the most rarest stones in the world. I must have it. How much would you sell it for?" The boy put up 2 fingers, and the man said, "I'll take it for $200,000. The boy, not knowing what to say, ran home to his father. "Father, there's a man that wants to buy the rock for $200,000. His father then said, "Son, do you know the value of where you decide to place yourself, the people you surround yourself with, and how you choose to carry yourself. You may have lived your whole life thinking that you were a $2 stone. You may have lived your whole life surrounded by people that saw your worth only for $2. But everybody has a diamond inside of them. And we can choose to surround ourselves with people that see our value and see the diamond inside of us. We can choose to put ourselves in a market or put ourselves in a precious stone store. And you can also choose to see the value in other people. You can help other people see the diamond inside of them. Choose the people you surround yourself with wisely. That can make all the difference in your life.
Hope you must have understood what the video likes to tell us. Just do not settle for something in life. Live the life of worthiness. Let us start with assessing the worthiness of our life. Now change your life. Now think big anyway, despite the uncertainty. And for innovation excellence, have 3 C's: creativity, courage, and create the life you really want to live. Hence, to change our life, fail big. We live only once. Don't be afraid to fail. There is an old IQ test. Was 9 dots and you have 5 lines to be drawn with the pencil within 9 dots without lifting the pencil. How do you do it? The only way to do is to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go out of box. Don't be afraid to think out of box. Don't be afraid of to fail big. Dream and to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams and they ultimately fuel disappointment. Dream video. Now, now to achieve the dream, we have to have the goals. You must in order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. Every day you have to work at it. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. Every day you have to work at it. Every day you have to plan you. The saying is, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works. Working really hard is what successful people do. I found nothing in life is worth unless you take risk. Nothing if there is no passion to be found. Playing small and settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable for. Goals, you must have the SMART goals. And you have to have set the SMART goals. It's very simple. Only thing is, SMART goals is a great way to enhance your self-motivation. When you set these goals, make sure they are just a minute. On the way to achieve your goals, there will be obstacles, but the obstacles will be rewarded. And the obstacles are being able to deal with setbacks and continue to pursue your goals despite obstacles. A small video clipping will give us a brief idea.
In ancient times, a king had his men place a huge rock on a roadway. He then hid in the bushes and watched to see if anyone would move the rock out of the way. Some of the king's wealthiest merchants and courtiers passed by and simply walked around it. Many blamed the king for not keeping the roads clear, but none of them did anything about getting the stone removed. And so it happened that one day, a peasant came along carrying vegetables. Upon approaching the rock, the peasant laid down his burden and tried to push the rock out of the way. After much pushing and straining, he finally managed. After the peasant went back to pick up his vegetables, he noticed a purse lying in the road where the rock had been. The purse contained many gold coins and a note from the king explaining that the gold was for the person who removed the rock from the road. You see, in life, every obstacle that we come across gives us an opportunity to improve our circumstances. And while the lazy complain, others will create opportunities through their kind hearts, generosity, and willingness to get things done. So see every problem as an opportunity and a chance to become better and to grow. This is Dare to Do Motivation Stories. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.
Yes, now we have to set the SMART goals. Then you have to look for the obstacles. As in continuation of the SMART goals, it is the self-motivation. As you know, SMART goals is a great way to enhance your self-motivation. And to simply say, self-motivation is in its simplest form, the force that drives you to do things. It is nothing but the skills you need. People can be motivated by many factors, but major are intrinsic and extrinsic. The intrinsic is related to what we want to do, and the extrinsic is related to what we have to do. And in addition, what about if a task has neither intrinsic or nor extrinsic motivators? The obvious conclusion is that we are unlikely to do it because it will be pointless. And we also know it does not always work like that. There is a further issue, feelings of obligation. Obligation motivators are not strictly either intrinsic or extrinsic. Now, how do you increase your self-motivation, and what are the strategies can be followed? Setting a high but realistic goals and taking the right level of risks. Continuously seeking feedback to figure out how to improve ourselves. Being committed to personal and or organizational goals and going the extra mile to achieve them. Actively seeking out opportunities and seizing them whenever they occur. Setting high but realistic goals. Next. Taking the right level of risk. Constantly seeking feedback to figure out how to improve. Being committed to personal and organizational goals and going the extra mile to achieve them. Actively seeking opportunities and seizing them when they occur. Sorry. Okay. Continue. The 7 keys to getting motivated is just make it wonderful, love and respect yourself, consider the cause, involve other people, make a plan and break it down, make sure your environment supports your goal, pay attention to your feeling. A video on the eagle attitude will give you a broad aspect of getting motivated.
Don't be a parrot in life. A parrot talks way too much, but can't fly high. But an eagle is silent and has the willpower Don't be a parrot in life. A parrot talks way too much, but can't fly high. But an eagle is silent and has the willpower to touch the sky. Here's the 7 mentalities that we can learn from an eagle. Number 1, eagles fly alone at high altitude. Eagles don't fly with sparrows, ravens, and other small birds, meaning stay away from narrow-minded people, those that bring you down. Eagles fly with eagles. There's a saying that goes like this: people you hang around will eventually determine the person you become. Keep good company. Number 2, eagles have vision. They have the ability to focus on something as far as 5 kilometers away. No matter what the obstacles, the eagle will not move his focus from the prey until he grabs it. Meaning, have a vision and remain focused in your life. No matter what the obstacles and challenges you may face, don't give up and you will succeed. Number 3, eagles are fearless. An eagle will never surrender to the size or strength of its prey. It will always give a fight to win its prey or regain its territory, meaning no matter what the size or big your problems are, don't give up. Instead, face it. Successful people are fearless. They face problems head on. Number 4, eagles are tenacious. Eagles love storm. When clouds gather, the eagles get excited. The eagles use the storm wind to lift themselves higher. Once it finds the wind of the storm, the eagles use the raging storm to lift itself above the clouds. This gives the eagle the opportunity to glide and rest its wings. In the meantime, all the other birds hide in the branches and leaves of the tree, meaning achievers are not afraid of challenges. Rather, they relish in them and use them for profitability. Number 5, eagles never eat dead things. Eagles never eat dead meat. In other words, an eagle does not scavenge. It only eats the meat from the prey it kills itself. Meaning, do not rely on your past success. Keep looking for new frontiers to conquer. Leave your past where it belongs, in the past. Number 6, eagles prepare for training. They remove the feather and the soft grass in the nest so that the young ones get uncomfortable in preparation for flying. And eventually, they fly when it becomes too unbearable to stay in the nest. Meaning, leave your comfort zone. There is no growth there. Last but not least, number 7, eagles possess vitality. When the eagle grows old, his feathers become weak and cannot take him as fast and as high as it should. This makes him weak and could make him die, so he retires to a place far away in the mountains. And while there, he plucks out the weak feathers in his body and breaks his beak and his claws against the rocks until he is completely bare. A very bloody and painful process. Then he stays in his hiding place until he has grown new feathers, new beaks and claws, and then comes out flying higher than ever before. Meaning, we occasionally need to shed off old habits, no matter how difficult. Things that burden us or add no value to our lives should be let go of. Thanks for watching this video. Share and subscribe for more amazing inspiration.
Hope you must have loved the eagle attitude. Now we have rushed through the goals, obstacles, motivation, self-motivation, and other things. Now, what to do for this and what will be the possible success criteria? 1. Have a solid business plan. 2. Prepare for financial challenges. Be frugal, as we are only a startup. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Kindly take the help of the institution or your professors, mentors, etc. Put your faith in a trusted mentor. Marketing on a shoestring budget. That is a very low budget and sampling. What it means is shoestring budget. Let us do a small sampling of our product or whatever the business plan what we have. And keep looking on the number one or who was doing the best thing in our field. Build a team that shares your vision. Safeguard your venture. It is nothing but keep it confidential, whatever your plans are. Next. Hope just we are entering into the other sector. Of course, last week there was a brief description on brief meeting on entrepreneurship. This is just a small definition. What is an entrepreneurship? It's very simple, a process of creating something new and assuming the risk and rewards. So whatever you do, the risk is yours and the reward is yours. 2. Most of the entrepreneurs and startups are not successful. Why do some entrepreneurs successful while many fail? This is a very big question. The ratio of success and failures are 1:9. The problem is a lot of people are not guided and they doesn't know the probability of how to overcome. These are the small points which I feel to become a successful entrepreneur, we may overcome the problems. First, don't try to be the best. Try to be the first and the best. Have a good leadership and purpose of what you're going to do. Develop credibility and network with your friends, your co-associates, your mentor, etc., etc. Study the customer needs and what is the requirement and what is the replacement requirement for the customers and make it simple. It is not only the customer's need, we have to execute within the time frame. The execution is more important and the continuous persistence must be there till our products get into the customers. And keep believing on our product and keep focusing on the success. If you want to be happy, be healthy. Okay, now to become an entrepreneur, now we have a lot of business incubator. What is an incubator? Incubators work with startup companies or single entrepreneurs to help by providing free or low cost workplace and the mentorship, expertise and access to investors. Sometimes like angel investors, venture capital investors, capital in the form of loans are also been given. There are other things like accelerators and angel investors and hybrid. Whereas incubators do not operate on a set schedule. Joining an incubator is similar to the process of becoming a part of college program, where you have to approach and be accepted and follow a schedule to meet incubators' defined benchmarks. If you proceed with an incubator, you will need to commit to being part of the incubator for a particular length of time. Some incubators are independent, while others are sponsored or funded by venture capital, government entities, major corporations, angel investors. It is common for incubators to focus on specific industries such as healthcare or technology. This enables them to offer more targeted resources and expertise to participants. Now, how incubators help startups develop and grow? Incubators help early stage companies refine their ideas, create their business plan, work on product to market fit, identify potential intellectual property issues, and network with other startups. They promote development and growth. A small slide on incubators and other tools. Just you can go through this. This is just to give an idea what are the other things are available apart from incubators for an entrepreneur or a startup company. They are hey. See, in a simple language, and business incubation concept is just a comparison that a hen hatching an egg. Just the hen builds a nest. Here, the entrepreneur contemplates starting a venture. Hen lays a clutch of eggs, collects all resources, and an entrepreneur collects all resources and formulates the venture. 3. Hen becomes broody. whereas the entrepreneur concentrates on entrepreneurial activities. Hen loses some weight. Entrepreneur does not get unnerved by initial teething troubles but worries. Hen moves the egg frequently. The entrepreneur becomes vigorous with the business activities and keeps a close tab. Hen provides heat. Entrepreneur pours in all necessary resources that may be required. The hen keeps them moist, but the entrepreneur ensures that there is no scarcity of any resource at the beginning. And the hen after 12 to 14 days leaves nest more often. The entrepreneur becomes carefree once the venture is set up and lets it run without concentration on day-to-day activities. Whereas the hen, after the day 20, she moistens them again prior to hatch. Whereas the entrepreneur, once the venture appears to be moving smooth, just give it in the final glance to ensure that all is in order as the venture is set up. Now, we have seen how the business incubation works. And now we are going to look under what are the government schemes available for setting and entrepreneurship. This has been briefed in by video, as that will be giving a better idea than speaking.
Even after the central government has adopted several fruitful initiatives to support small-scale businesses in the country, it couldn't bring up the number of women entrepreneurs. While the male entrepreneurs in the country have crossed 50 million threshold, women entrepreneurs constitute only 13.76%. The central government has come up with good schemes to strengthen women involvement in the entrepreneurship segment. Let's take a look at the MSME loans available exclusively for women. Stand Up India is a loan scheme that caters to entrepreneurs from SC/ST categories and women who have got innovative ideas. As per the scheme, loan amounts from rupees 10 lakh to rupees 1 crore will be provided. No credit will be granted under the scheme for expanding existing businesses. The loan will be granted only to fresh projects. Thus, the scheme is much beneficial for new entrepreneurs. There are no barriers with respect to age, education, or income in order to obtain this loan. There should also be no collateral security while lending. Applications can be made to the lead district managers of all districts or to the NABARD office. Applications can also be made through district standards and Stand Up India website. Mudra Yojana is one of the most popular schemes from the central government dedicated to women who aim to start small enterprises like beauty parlors, tuition centers and sewing units. Once the loan is approved, you will receive Mudra cards, which is much like the credit cards. You can withdraw money through such credit cards. You can avail loans between rupees 50,000 and rupees 5 lakh. The need for collateral arises only if the loan amount exceeds rupees 10 lakh. There are 3 plans under the scheme. Shishu plan with loans up to rupees 50,000 for new businesses, Kishore plan with loans between rupees 50,000 and rupees 5 lakh for well-established enterprises, and Tarun plan for loans between rupees 5 lakh and rupees 10 lakh for expansion of enterprises. The Annapurna scheme is offered by the State Bank of Mysore for women who run food catering businesses. The maximum loan amount of rupees 50,000 needs to be repaid in 36 months. For women who own 50% or more of a self-financing venture, the Sri Shakti package is available through SBI branches. If the loan amount exceeds rupees 2 lakh, the interest rate will fall by 0.5%. Dena Shakti scheme is a Dena Bank loan scheme for women working in agriculture, manufacturing, retail, microcredit and small enterprises. Loans up to rupees 20 lakhs will be granted. The Udyogini scheme is provided by Punjab and Sindh Bank for women in the age bracket of 18 to 45. The scheme is dedicated to women who are engaged in agriculture and small-scale enterprises. The maximum amount is rupees 1 lakh. There is no income limit for widowed, destitute or differently abled women. Bharatiya Mahila Bank Business Loan is a scheme for women who want to start new ventures in retail trade. For manufacturing enterprises, loan up to maximum value of rupees 20 crores will be given. Central Bank of India's Send Kalyani scheme is to support women in expanding or redefining their existing venture. This loan will benefit women participating in rural, cottage industries, small and medium enterprises, self-employment, agriculture, allied activities, retail trade and government-sponsored programs. Rupees 1 crore will be the maximum loan amount. Mahila Udyam Nidhi is a scheme implemented by the Punjab National Bank for 10-year tenure for women in small-scale enterprises. Loans can be granted for starting beauty parlors, daycare centers or to buy auto rickshaws, two-wheelers and cars for business or self-employment. Trade or trade-related entrepreneurship assistance and development scheme is a scheme for giving credits to women's projects, especially training and counseling. These innovative schemes introduced by the central government need to be popularized. Knowing about this financial
என்ன ஸ்கீம் நம்ம கொடுக்குறோம் Hope we had a brief idea on what are the loans available, and there are private and other registered corporates are there for giving venture loans and other angel loans also. And this is not the least. Now the pandemic have taught us what type of businesses will bloom after the pandemic. In the video.
Seven businesses that will boom after this pandemic. Throughout history, more billionaires and millionaires are made after a recession and economic crash than any other time. So, how do you take advantage of this time? The global economy will this year likely suffer the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression due to the COVID-19 pandemic, says the International Monetary Fund. The World Trade Organization also said that the global trade will contract by between 13% and 23% this year. Also, the OECD has warned the economic heat from the virus will be felt for a long time to come. No one knows when the coronavirus pandemic will end for economic activities to return to normal. But even as uncertainty abounds, life-changing opportunities will rear their heads. Throughout history, events such as economic recession and pandemics have changed the trajectory of governments, economics, and businesses. The Black Death in the 1300s broke the long-ingrained feudal system in Europe and replaced it with the more modern employment contract. The SARS pandemic of 2002 to 2004 catalyzed the meteoric growth of small companies like Alibaba and helped establish it at the forefront of retail in Asia. This growth was fueled by underlying anxiety around traveling and human contact, similar to what we see today with COVID-19. The financial crisis of 2008 also produced its own disruptive side effects. Airbnb and Uber shot up in popularity across the West as the crisis forced people to share assets in the form of spare rooms and car rides in order to cover for the deficit. With COVID-19, we're already seeing early signs of a shift in how consumers and businesses behave. Remote working is being encouraged by tech and non-tech companies alike. Supply chains are getting disrupted globally, and retail stores are running out of ibuprofen, dry goods, and toilet paper en masse. Some of these changes are direct, short-term responses to the crisis and will revert to regular levels once COVID-19 is contained. However, some of this shift will continue on creating a long-term disruption that will reshape businesses for decades to come. While it's more important to focus on getting out of the health risk posed by the outbreak, you need to keep your eyes on what lies ahead after this pandemic, because this global pandemic will shape businesses for decades to come. Here are 7 businesses that will boom after the coronavirus pandemic. 1. Digital marketing. Digital marketing has experienced a boom over the past decade, but the industry is recording some losses as businesses are now cutting back on their digital marketing spending. However, the industry is likely to experience even major boom after COVID-19. Many industries have experienced significant decline to digital marketing usage since the lockdown, with travel, transportation, and hospitality being the most hit. Most businesses are currently shut down with no cash flow, and companies are eating deep into their cash reserve. When this pandemic is over and businesses resume, most businesses will need to get their cash flow back on track. Businesses will be open to innovative and affordable ways to reach customers, and digital marketing will be there to the rescue. This is an area you want to position yourself in. Take this lockdown as an opportunity to develop your digital marketing skill. 2. Stock market investing. A famous investment wisdom credited to the world's richest investor, Warren Buffett, is be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. Typically, market crashes when people, out of fear of losing their money, start selling off their assets and cutting back on their spending. Stock price goes ridiculously down. This is usually the best time for smart investing. You can buy stocks at cheap prices and ride through the market recovery, but there are no guarantees that every stock will recover after a recession. Some companies may go bankrupt. Be sure to thoroughly research the stocks to invest in and seek expert advice. 3. Online education. The coronavirus outbreak has caused schools, primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions to close down, and no one knows how long students will have to stay at home. This reality has forced a crash course for online learning plans and technology for students and faculty. The world is going through a mandatory giant online education experiment. The aftermath could accelerate changes in the education industry that were already at play. For over a decade, there have been predictions of online education going mainstream to rival traditional education. This change has seemed to be gradual over the years, but this virus outbreak may just give online education the moment it's been waiting for. As digital learning goes mainstream in a hurry, that's going to upend current education practices, models, and processes going forward. Traditional education will not go away, but online education will definitely mean greater adoption. Online training in businesses will boom post-COVID-19, and businesses that position in this space will benefit immensely. 4. Online collaboration tools. How will the COVID-19 pandemic alter the future of teaching and learning? The COVID-19 pandemic is forcing schools, universities, and learning and development professionals to shift from rapidly in-person to online learning. The global lockdown has focused people in large numbers to embrace digital form of connection, and online collaboration tools have seen huge growth over the last few months. As companies rapidly, and in some cases also permanently, move towards remote working, the market for digital collaboration tools such as Microsoft Teams, Google Hangouts, and Zoom is likely to grow quickly. To add to that, we're already seeing growing demand for digital media and entertainment, including social media, gaming, news, video streaming, and books as people seek to relieve boredom and fill the time previously taken up by traveling and socializing face-to-face. 5. E-commerce. The COVID-19 crisis is pushing us to quickly adopt digital technologies, remote working, and e-commerce. Alibaba, a Chinese online marketplace founded in 1999, got its major boost at the time people in China had to stay at home due to the SARS coronavirus outbreak in 2002. The quarantine came just as Alibaba was preparing to launch Taobao, an online marketplace for consumers that Jack Ma, the company founder, hoped would compete with eBay in China. Chinese consumers who were stuck at home started turning to the internet to order items. Alibaba benefited from the internet becoming increasingly necessary for doing business during the SARS outbreak, as businesses and consumers were driven online to buy and sell goods. Due to self-isolation, people who normally visit physical stores are increasingly shopping online. The uplift in may well become permanent if people remain wary of mingling in real life and increasingly replace shop visits with online purchases. You may think e-commerce has already taken off, but in most parts of Africa, for example, only a fraction of the population have bought something online. After this pandemic and beyond, e-commerce will likely gain more acceptance among the skeptics. We'll see faster progress towards online retail. Companies and organizations will realize they have less need for expensive real estate. We can expect this trend to continue going forward. 6. Agriculture. One of the biggest challenges with the coronavirus pandemic and lockdown is the threat to food security. While the lockdown may appear to be the solution to mitigate the spread of the virus, a major consequence is a shortage of food and hike in price. COVID-19 is disrupting agricultural activities around the world from farm, harvesting to processing and supply. The closure of restaurants, eateries, and hotels is creating low demand for agri-produce. Agri-businesses are looking to digital technologies to sell their products. Although digital technology is not a new concept, the necessity will get even skeptics to embrace it. At the end of this pandemic or lockdown, we may face the risk of low food supply. This will create more opportunities in the agri sector to produce food to feed the surviving population. 7. The gig economy. As many companies will not want to have huge number of full-time employees and fixed costs after this crisis, this will accelerate the gig economy, freelance works, and associated startups. You also want to start preparing yourself to function in a gig economy. Over the longer term, COVID-19 has irrevocably changed the way businesses will compete over the next decade. Businesses that choose to capitalize on this underlying changes will succeed, and the ones that don't will get disrupted. What are your
And now, and this is not the end, and to conclude, it's just a beginning video. Session with a video.
Participants' feedback link is shared in the chat window. If you have any doubts, you can unmute yourself and you can ask.
Do you want to clarify anything from the resource person? Thank you for joining with us. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful session, giving a very big motivation videos on how to withstand our business even in very worst conditions. Good number of videos are shown. You just get benefited in these videos and see that coming out with a successful future. We thank all of you for participating with us, and we thank our resource person, Mr. Ashok Rajappan, for coming over here and delivering a wonderful lecture on entrepreneurship, sharing his story. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And thank you all, my dear participants, for joining with us. Thank you.